Hello, listener. This is producer Jeffrey. Step into my time machine. Long ago, beginning in the ancient past of 2009, we made a show called Our Fair City. Now, Our Fair City is a sprawling, epic story set in the dystopian future of Hartford, Connecticut. A climate disaster made the world outside a frozen wasteland. What remains of humanity lives inside in a largely subterranean city governed by the remains of an insurance company. Now, Our Fair City is darkly funny. You'll meet mad scientists, lightning riggers, the woken dead, giant ants, time travelers, and mole people. We are currently re-releasing Our Fair City weekly, so this is a great time to join us for a romp through the tunnels of Heartlife. After today's episode, we'll be sharing a trailer for the show. I hope you'll check it out, and I would love you to join us in our listen of Our Fair City, found wherever you're listening to this podcast right now.
Hey, I'm Arnie Niekamp from the fully improvised comedy podcast Hello from the Magic Tavern. I'm here with my co-hosts, John the Talking Badger,
Bing Bong,
and Usador the Wizard.
I greet thee, listeners.
Look, I'm trapped in the magical land of Foon, so I started a podcast interviewing elves, unicorns, and other weirdos. We have great guests like Felicia Day, Jason Mantzoukas, Brennan Lee Mulligan, Amy Mann, and so many more.
Oh, and I think one time we interviewed a sentient shoe? I hope it was sentient.
Not to mention the evil people we've had to interview. How I hate evil.
Join us as we bar crawl across the magical land of Foon.
Looking for adventure.
Getting caught up in escapades.
Hello from the Magic Tavern is available right now on your favorite podcast app and ad-free and with lots of bonus content on Patreon. Subscribe to Hello from the Magic Tavern today.
Someone on the radio said something about the sun going out forever in a month or so. But we all knew the end was near, nothing to be done from here. So I shake my head and off to bed I go.
Hi, Mac. Welcome. I'm so excited to chat with you.
I'm so grateful to you for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
Yeah, okay, wait. I feel like I'm doing this all backwards. So this is producer Eleanor, and I am really excited to be talking to Mac Rogers. And we're going to talk a little bit about his show, Give Me Away, which we're going to share an episode after this chat. But Mac, you and I have both been just like around in the audio fiction space for a really long time. And I was remembering that the first time we met up in person was post-pandemic. Jeffrey and I came to New York and we had that like bar gathering. And
right.
You showed up and I just remember being like, oh my God, oh, you're a real person. That joy of being like people who live on the internet together and then going, oh my God, you exist in real life.
No, it is funny. There'll be people where I'll have to remind myself that I haven't met them before because I've conversed with them so much online.
Yeah. Well, and Mac, I feel like you and your team and Jeffrey and I all share that we are people who came out of theater. Like you are a playwright, like many of the writers that we work with. And right. I feel like there's also that just sort of shared sensibility about like adapting the experience of theater into audio fiction and podcasts. And so, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it is. I mean, like so much of my company, Gideon Media, that I co-founded with Sean Williams, who's the producer of Give Me Away and also plays the dual lead role of Graham and Joshua. So much of our of the audio dramas that we make come out of the creative relationships that we forged in theater.
Yeah,
Jordana Williams, who directs all the shows, she directed all of my plays, most of my plays back in the day. And so many of the actors that we use in our shows are actors that we first worked with in theater or first encountered in theater, first saw in plays or whatever. There is a very, so it draws very much from our background in theater. And then there's beyond that, there's the artistic aspect of audio drama, much like theater, is a rewarding medium for extended conversations.
Totally. Yes.
It's a place where, like, if there's perhaps less tolerance for that in television or film, I mean, audio drama, people really do like to hunker down and spend a long time hearing a couple of people have an interesting conversation, and that's a real pleasure of the art form.
For sure. Okay, so before we just like prattle on too much, Matt, tell me about Give Me Away. What is this show? What is it about? Why do I want to listen to it?
It's funny. I've been kind of cursing myself for years that I'm so passionate about an idea that it's so hard to explain in a couple simple sentences. My very, very glib pitch for the show is consensual body snatchers, but I'll explain what I mean by that. The idea behind the show is that an alien spacecraft lands in the Nevada desert. When the authorities show up and try to investigate it, a portal opens and just a horrible volley of screams come out. Something or multiple somethings inside the spaceship are screaming. When they finally get inside, when the scientists get inside, they discover that there's no visible bodies of any kind on there, no visible entities, but there is a mainframe that the screams are emanating from that they come to realize is a cyber prison, that this is a prison ship, and that inside of this mainframe are the digitally uploaded consciousnesses of 50,000 political prisoners from another planet.
Wow.
And they're trapped inside of a horrible cyber purgatory. The scientists quickly, because there's when the spaceship first lands, there's a pretty liberal president in the America of the story who basically allows them to start investigating ways of liberating these prisoners. They initially try to liberate one of them onto an Earth supercomputer, which doesn't work at all. Even our best computers are not enough to contain an entire consciousness. So what the main scientist, Dr. Brooke Harris, what she realizes, the only way to liberate them is to find a way to download them into human minds, that they would then share a single mind with a human host for the remainder of that human host's life. And they would become basically a passenger inside the human host. Dr. Brooke Harris basically tries this on herself for the first time and successfully downloads an alien consciousness into her mind that once it wakes up and starts exploring her mind and learns the language, picks out her own name, Deirdre. So Brooke and this is a new entity now. It's Brooke and Deirdre, a body containing two consciousnesses. All of this, we learn about all of this stuff through the point of view of a man named Graham Shapiro, who is basically going through the ultimate sort of midlife doldrums. He's turned 50. His marriage to his wife, Morgan, has just recently ended. His children, Jamie and Talia, have both moved out of the house. His life is kind of nowhere. He's really just stuck inside his own head. And he's sort of disappearing into himself. When he follows all this stuff on the news, of course, because it's amazing. It's a paradigm shift. It's aliens. And when he learns that they're looking for volunteers for people to download, to offer up their minds to basically host an alien consciousness forever, which essentially means giving up your privacy forever and basically spending the rest of your life deciding with consensus, you and the alien in your mind, the two of you decide together what your body is going to do. The human retains complete control of the body, but the human and the alien basically confer with one another for the rest of their life and decide what they're going to do by consensus. Graham decides that he wants to do this. He hears about this and it's like he feels this calling inside himself that this is the thing that he wants to do with his life. They're resistant to take him because he's 50. They're looking for younger people because they want to give the aliens the longest life possible. But they ultimately decide to take him. But then there is what appears to be an accident. They download one of the most valuable alien minds, a brilliant biochemical scientist named Joshua, or that's the name he picks when he's in Graham's head. They download. Now, Graham wasn't supposed to be paired with. They need Joshua's brilliance for the foreseeable future. They were not planning to download him into a 50-year-old man.
Sure. So then, like, suddenly Graham is like a very important person all out of, nowhere. Yeah.
He was Graham showed up and basically expecting to be just sort of one of the schlubs, just like, one of the background people in this whole project, this town out in the Nevada desert that surrounds the spaceship where all the hybrid people live, surrounded by soldiers. Once everyone has accepted what is called a second, that's what the alien consciousnesses are called. Once you've accepted a second, you have to remain inside this former ghost town in the Nevada desert, because America doesn't know yet whether it can trust these alien consciousnesses, so it's keeping them all in this town. Graham just expected to be one of the minor figures in this whole thing, but now he's carrying Joshua, who is this incredibly arrogant, abrasive but brilliant biochemist who is incredibly important to the whole project. The biggest problem with him being is that he's a very militant figure. Brooke and Deirdre are always looking for ways to be conciliatory and get along better with American society, with the American authorities, and be accepted. Joshua prefers to get acceptance through strength, and he's got an extraordinary facility for developing biochemical weapons. And in fact, he committed some stuff on their home planet that he thought of as revolutionary activities, but which other people consider war crimes. And now mild-mannered Graham Shapiro is now in charge of ferrying this guy around.
Gotcha. Well, so then let me ask you, because I know a lot of the other things you've worked on have just been one season.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Was this originally intended, like, did you always intend to do multiple seasons of this, or is that something that evolved? And like, I know, so this is the third season that's coming out now.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think that experience of like making a show over multiple seasons and over that really long period of time is always so interesting to me, because it's something I really love doing. How'd that come together on this one?
Well, I've been resistant for a while to doing multi-season stuff. Like, I come from plays, and there's that definitive end point, and that's sort of how I taught myself writing. Is I figure out sort of like the basic structure of the play, and then I sort of figure out where it's going to end, because I come up with an ending that says the things I want to say about the play, and then that teaches me how to write every preceding scene. Sure. Everything. Whether it's plot beats or character beats, everything is moving inexorably towards that ending. I was able to retain that approach to writing with the first few audio dramas I did, because they were all miniseries. The Message, Life After, Steal the Stars were all specifically conceived as stories with a definitive endpoint. Steal the Stars I wrote in such a way that if they wanted another season, there would still be some plot threads, but the character arc of the season had come to a conclusion at the end of that series. But I couldn't help but notice that, as I looked around at other audio dramas, there is just a whole other level of listener investment in multi-season stories. Unwell is a major example of that.
Sure, yeah.
The Bright Sessions is a major example of that. Wolf 359 is a major example. Is like that people they would have their favorite characters. Oh my gosh, you better not kill off blah blah blah. I really want X and Y to get together and kiss. Like people really want people when people have been able to spend several years around characters. There is just this whole other tier of emotional investment.
Because you start to feel like these are my friends, and I care about them and their journeys.
Yeah, for sure. And it was like. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to crack that. I'm going to try to set myself the challenge of writing a story that I don't know where it all ends.
Yeah.
I don't know what point it's leading up to. So it was conceived as multi-season from the beginning, with the idea being that it sort of had this built-in continuum structure that new volunteers would come to Red Camp, Nevada to join the Nevada Project to accept a second, an alien consciousness, And then they would bring sort of like new ideas and new flavors to the story. One thing I thought of, like, basically, I wanted to build in the idea that anything I didn't think of, any short-sightedness that I myself as a writer inflicted on the story in season 1, some new volunteer or some new alien from the cyber prison could come along and point that out in a subsequent season.
Oh, sure,
For
yeah.
example, in season 1, I just simply didn't at all interrogate the idea that the alien second would immediately adopt the same gender identity as the human host. I just assumed that without thinking, well, why would they necessarily? So in the second season, we brought along, there was a new character, a young woman named Noah who ends up taking on a second named Jade, who comes to the camp, who's actually played by Lauren Shippen, the creator of the Bright Sessions. Basically, she brings that up in her earliest meetings when she's like sort of auditioning to be part of the project. She's like, "There's all this stuff you guys haven't thought about. Why is it just assumed that the alien consciousness will immediately just agree to be the same gender as the host?
Yeah.
Why is that written?" And so that, like, there'll be so many things that I haven't thought of. There'll be so many kinds of short-sightedness that I, due to my own limitations as a person, will have, that subsequent seasons of the show, whether from a new alien's perspective or a new human's perspective, can interrogate what happened before, because that's a big part of my own life. I think me and Sean and Jordana, and sort of the original incubating of this show, a lot of this show has to do with being middle-aged. You know, especially like when you're an artsy person, you were young, you totally thought you were on the cutting edge. You thought you were really showing and then you get older, and all these new sets of younger people come along with stuff that you now have to adjust to.
Yeah, it turns out the world keeps moving.
This keeps be all this new evolution or whatever, you know, and it was, and so there's all this stuff that I am sort of constantly scrambling to like evolve myself or to adjust to, so I deliberately, knowing that it was going to be kind of an uphill battle in terms of getting audio drama listeners, so I think tend to skew younger and tend to kind of like younger stories. I knew it was going to be hard to like sell a middle-aged hero, but it wasn't specifically. I wanted it to be a story about a middle-aged guy learning to wrestle with a bunch of new stuff
and change and grow and shift. Yeah, totally.
Like there's a middle-aged miasma that you can get into. The only way to fight that is by plunging into new things, which is something I always struggle with. And so I basically wanted to try to sort of dramatize that struggle through this character. But I always kind of had the idea that as the seasons went on, he'd be a little bit like McNulty on The Wire, or the Timothy Oliphant character in Deadwood or something like that, where he starts off as your main character, but it gets more and more ensemble-y as it goes along.
Totally. All right, Mac, I want to ask you one other sort of silly question before we wrap this up. But I know that you listen to World Gone Wrong, and World Gone Wrong also has body snatching aliens in it. How do they compare and contrast? What as an expert in consensual body snatching aliens, how do you feel about the body snatching aliens in World Gone Wrong? I don't know. I'm just like this is the thing that our two shows have in common. Like, what's that up? What's up with that?
Well, I mean, that's a big part of it, because a lot of this is in tribute to, you know, the science fiction that I grew up on, and so much, I guess, of the discussion on World Gone Wrong is sort of like that. You know, they're sort of the more conventional model of the body snatchers. Malik, I'm blanking on the main woman's name.
Jamie.
Jamie. They're constantly talking about the ways in which you, how can you detect them?
Yeah.
What are the and sort of what the sort of the big questions that people always have with the shape shifting or the pod person kind of like archetype of aliens is like, how can you tell which ones they are?
Yeah.
And what are they up to?
Yeah,
and
I feel like that's like it's like a long standing science fiction anxiety that we deal with of like, how do I look at a person and know if they're good or not?
Yeah. And I mean, I grew up on, you know, body snatchers. I mean, particularly the first the second movie, the first remake, the Donald Sutherland, Philip Kaufman directed one, was just nightmare fuel for me as a teenager. And the person looks just like the person you just saw, but but now they're an alien with like kind of a shadowy agenda. And I wanted to play with those two questions because it goes back to like, it's constantly been a metaphor for so many different things.
Totally. Yes.
The body snatcher. I mean, like with the I think the first Don Siegel. I don't know what the original. I think it was a short story was the original or a novel. I'm blanking on what the original source material was.
Well,
but the first Don Siegel movie was about communism,
right?
And then the 70s.
And like I think about, for me, the thing that immediately pops to mind is like there's that whole plot line in Deep Space Nine about the aliens who can like melt into a puddle of goo, but like can also just like look like your friend. And like I remember watching that and being just flabbergasted that it was written and aired before 9/11 because it feels so deeply like it is reacting to the like terrorism era. But yeah, that's the one that for me feels really connected to sort of like the world I grew up in and the it comes up over and over again.
Well, for me, a huge part of the story of Give Me Away was defined early on when I set what the rules of the body snatching, which is not exactly the right term for this, but early on, when I was like designing the idea, Sean asked me, he's like, "Look, hang on, let me just." Can the aliens sometimes take over the body and move it themselves? Mm-hmm. And at that point, I had figures like, you know what? I'm going to say no. Mm-hmm. What that made me realize was that while there are certainly overtones of immigration in the Give Me Away alien metaphor, and there are certainly overtones of gender nonconformity in the Give Me Away alien metaphor, the central one, the most crucial one, is basically consent and consensus. Mm-hmm. The way that they screen people to become the hosts in Give Me Away, they're looking for the kind of people who are not going to make their inner alien a prisoner inside their body and mind.
Yeah.
They're the kind of person who's going to say, what do we both think about this? If we disagree, we're going to come to a place of consensus because we're stuck with each other. And we're going to have to learn to work together. Now, I know a lot of people find this horrifying. My mom listened to Give Me Away at the exact same time as she listened to a horror podcast that I wrote.
Oh no!
And she said, "Mac, I thought Give Me Away was much scarier than the horror podcast."
I can see how this is a tough one for a lot of yeah.
Because most people wouldn't do this, right? Most people
totally
would not choose to give up their because and so I was like, so part of the challenge of the dramaturgy of the show is what kind of people would do that, mm-hmm. So like it's very much like in terms of like comparing it to the World Gone Wrong ones, like I wanted to take away the mystery because you know exactly which people have an alien host and you know exactly when it's the alien talking versus mm-hmm. the human talking. The mystery of the identity, the first question. How can you tell they are? I deliberately wanted to take away that mystery to kind of deal with that head on. But the second question of like, what are they up to? What do they want? I have chosen to keep that as sort of shadowy as it is in World Gone Wrong, mm-hmm. because I want that to emerge slowly over the course of the series.
Yeah, that's cool. Mac, this is great. I'm so excited to share this with our listeners and check it out. So coming up next is an episode of Give Me Away, which I hope you will hang out for. And then you can find the rest of the series and the third season airing now wherever you're listening to your podcasts these days. So, Mac, thank you.
Thank you. This was a delight. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
Ma'am? Hi.
What?
So sorry, ma'am. Don't mean to disturb you.
What do you want?
Okay, let's take a step back. Lieutenant Brian Riley.
You're saying that's you?
Yes, ma'am.
Brooke Harris. I don't have a rank.
Oh, that's all right. Lots of nice people don't. I just wanted to make sure my team wasn't bothering you at all.
Bothering me?
You're under no obligation to socialize. I just wanted to make sure you weren't sitting at the far end of the cabin because you were perturbed in any way.
Why would I be perturbed?
Large group of men. Maybe a touch rowdy at times. I just wanted to make sure you know that these are men of discipline and impeccable character.
What about that one over there? Is he perturbed?
I wouldn't worry about Corey. He's having a rough time for completely unrelated reasons.
Then why shouldn't I worry about him?
Because, Professor, where that young man is concerned, I'm doing enough worrying for all of us.
I didn't tell you I was a professor.
Thing is, they asked me, can this civilian catch a ride on your troop carrier to Red Camp? And of course I said yes. I'm hospitable by nature. But I also took a minute to read up. Now, if I were to ask you what conceptual modeling is, would I be too dumb to understand the answer?
Would you like the answer I use when they make me talk to donors?
Please.
There are things in this world we want to act upon even though we can't see them. My job is to take all we know about those things and invent a three-dimensional approximation of what they look like.
Huh.
That probably sounds silly to you.
Not at all. Acting on things I can't see ahead of time is a big part of my job, too.
Give Me Away, Episode 5. My Body is Your Body.
Permission to ask a question, sir.
Yes, Sergeant, we're actually going inside. Scaffolding's not completed, so we'll have to take the rope ladder up to the door.
Not a problem, sir.
I tell you to take a moment to get used to it, but...
Already seen it all on TV.
Not all. The live stream shows the overall picture, but none of the nuances. You need eyes on sight for that. Sharp eyes.
So that's why the screams aren't louder.
It's a Band-Aid solution. Can't exactly study something you've covered in insulation. Sergeant, you all right?
Sir?
Climbing 50 feet on a rope ladder is no easy task. Do you feel all right?
Sir, I've climbed a lot of rope ladders. I'm not sure what you...
Exactly.
Sir?
You've climbed a lot of rope ladders, probably most of them under my command.
Yes, sir. We did them so many times in drills, I probably...
Don't have to think about it anymore, right? Getting your weight distribution just so, moving your opposite hand and foot in perfect tandem to ensure that the speed doesn't compromise balance?
Yes, sir.
That's what the training is for. That's what training is, the accumulated wisdom of decades and centuries of combat transmuted into instinct, so that your every hair-trigger response is profoundly informed by the whole history of tactical knowledge.
With respect, sir.
Yes, Sergeant?
Why are we here?
You saved lives, Corey. We'll never know whose lives exactly, but some of those men who serve next to you every day are alive because of your instinct, your split-second wisdom kicking in when it counted.
I know, sir.
Except that everything in your body and voice is telling me that you don't know. Now, why is that?
Sir, they were boys.
Of course they were boys. That's who they send. Thinking you'll see that they're boys and not react, that you'll forget the training that lives in every inch of your body, but you didn't. The evil was in the sending of boys, not your reaction to it.
I'm trying, sir. I'll get there.
We're here because the only way I know how to climb out of a hole is to start climbing. I'm not starting you on something small until you feel better. I'm putting you in a situation where you will simply have to be better. This is your post. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nothing happens here that you don't see. The rest of the world has the live stream. I have you. Is that clear, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Room for one more?
What?
Is this your private expanse of desert, or can I come in?
I'd prefer to be alone.
And I'd prefer to bug you.
I'm serious.
Whatever it's worth, I think you're right.
Of course I'm right. Redundant security system?
Well, it's a natural thing to assume under the circumstances.
Not after you've given it any thought at all. The man's a fool.
Well, he's not a fool. He's just not as smart as you. And really bad at acknowledging it.
One wrong approach begets another. We're going to waste months if we keep treating the phenomena as barriers or firewalls rather than...
What?
Individual files that have some sort of
It's just you and me.
Agency. Autonomy. They're not blocking us. That's not what the responses suggest. They're somehow reaching out.
Except that's nuts. Why would files in a mainframe do that?
Do you not believe me, or are you goading me into an answer?
I'm goading you into an answer.
The way we're thinking about the computer is entirely wrong. We're obsessed with the idea that it's withholding something from us because that's how we think about everything. Infiltration, conquest.
I mean, we did have to get past some initial protocols when...
Yes, and I'm sure most kennels have a lock on the door. But if you unlock it and go inside, are the dogs unhappy to see you?
Kind of a weird analogy there.
It is. I wonder why I thought of it.
Look, Clive's already having to work off your virtual model, so just from that he's on the back foot. So when you call him a dumbass right in front of...
He is a dumbass.
I'm just saying, the next time you think so, tell me, and we'll figure out how to bring it up together.
Why?
Because I can tell what you are, and I want to be in on the ground floor.
What if you're wrong?
Hey, hi.
Hi. Bear trees, right?
Yeah, I was just assigned. I was in the ghost house just now, during the, drama.
Okay.
Look, this is totally rude, but I would just about kill to know what you guys are talking about.
I'm not wrong.
It is our hypothesis that it functions as a sort of penitentiary mainframe.
Yes, Mr. President, I'm watching it now.
Inside a computer, which means
Well, she's certainly very clear, sir. It's just... There may be a bit of a charisma issue.
And uploaded into this mainframe as some form of non-transferable data, effectively imprisoning them indefinitely.
Yes, of course, understood, sir. We'll be in Carson City in half an hour, and I'll head straight out from there.
Well, transferable.
And you are disconnected. Take your time.
Ma'am, are you okay?
Give her a second.
You don't have to ask that every time, Sergeant.
Sorry, ma'am. I feel like I have to. You always look... not okay.
She's fine. Or, well, are you? This was my first time supervising this without Liz, so...
We have to go faster. We just have to go faster.
Well, I guess we'll go as fast as...
Sergeant?
Ma'am?
I'm not okay. If I ever answered yes to that question, I was lying.
Okay.
The reason I always look like this is because I've just returned from an ongoing atrocity.
Oh, right. Why don't we let you...
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, it really does look just like the... Is this a bad time?
It kind of is.
Who are you?
Sir, you are not on my roster, so I'm gonna need you to identify yourself.
Gil Cortez, Deputy White House Chief of Staff. I was kind of hoping I could borrow Professor Harris.
Okay, you're gonna have to wait until...
No. I'm ready now.
Oh, Jesus, this is government food? It's amazing.
We hired local people, a restaurant in Elko. What do you want?
Wow, Professor, you do not disappoint.
I don't know what that means.
Of course they sent Harris. She's practically an alien already.
I only spoke at that briefing because of Professor Bauer's last-minute departure.
Yeah, I spent most of last weekend talking Clive down. He thinks you conspired with multiple parties to steal the Nevada project right out from under him?
That's preposterous.
Is it?
Conspire and steal suggest secrecy. Professor Bauer's failures to adapt to the facts on the ground happened in public where everyone could see it.
I can see why Diaz likes you so much.
Is that good or bad?
Look, I'm devoted to that man. I've been with him since he was Arizona Attorney General. And when he loses re-election to some Christ-awful Republican, I'll be with him on his book tour. So I support his transparency fetish 110%, even if I think it's misreading the room.
How so?
He thinks the problem with his predecessors was too much secrecy. Maybe sometimes it was. But the problem nowadays isn't cloak and dagger. It's that everyone's doing the most corrupt shit imaginable in broad daylight with a smirk on their face.
Mr. Cortez, my interest in Beltway scuttlebutt is very limited.
It shouldn't be. It affects you directly. The Republicans hate this project.
Why?
Because a Democratic president likes it. They're looking for any angle to undermine what you're doing here. So if you're the new face of Red Camp, I'm your new best friend. Anything you need, you call me first. Anybody bothering you, same. And whenever you're making a public statement of any kind, I am your life partner. We build it together.
That's acceptable to me.
I wasn't actually asking.
But now, I need to go back to work.
Explain it to me.
I couldn't if I wanted to.
Find a way.
Come on, man. Seriously?
Maybe if we get some sleep, we can...
No one's getting some sleep. This can't continue. This ends tonight.
Okay, then make me understand.
Fuck you.
Excuse me?
Okay, look. You know how when you have a really bad toothache, you can't think about anything except the toothache?
I'm aware that's true for some people.
Okay, sure, I get it. You guys never crack. You stride out of the brush on 2 broken ankles or whatever.
We're not inhuman, but we do cultivate a tolerance for pain.
Okay, but while you're tolerating all that pain, how would you like to also be giving a toast at your kid's wedding?
I don't have children, but I take your point.
This is a waste of time.
Brooke, it's not your fault.
That expression is worthless. It's applicable to nothing.
Do I get the rest from you, or do I follow her?
We knew the transferred consciousness would want to communicate with us once it got acclimatized inside the computer. So we created multiple interfaces, a text program, an illustrator, a virtual modeler, and an audio output.
Uh-huh, right.
We successfully completed the transfer, then probably, 100 seconds of silence?
And then every interface just started spitting out gibberish. The text, the drawing program, the modeler, just an incoherent spray. And the audio.
I mean, no need to describe it.
They were screaming before.
But they were also working with us, giving us clues, guiding us along. But this...
It's in so much pain, it can't even put together a thought. We made it worse. I mean, we made it worse.
I should...
No, don't.
What that sounds like to me is that she knows she has to kill it.
Jesus.
We can't save them, and every second we leave them alive.
You don't have to explain. I've been exactly where you are.
I have to call the president first. Because of the radiation, I'll have to do that at the far end of the building.
I'll come with you.
But it became almost immediately clear that it was a terrible mistake. That there was no...
But a well-intentioned
Lights out, men.
mistake.
Up at 5:30 sharp.
I'm not sure how much intentions matter when you've consigned a sentient being to a worse existence than the one you freed them
Corey,
from.
turn that shit
Worse,
off, man.
meaning
Trying to sleep.
less space.
My bad. I'll put
Our
on my
goal
earbuds.
was to alleviate the prisoner's suffering by transferring it to what we thought was in terabyte terms a larger space. But in practice, we've done quite the opposite.
Fuck.
Is the process reversible?
We don't believe so, no.
So there's no way
Mr. Cortez!
Jesus, this is where you work?
Of course! Come on in.
I mean, you're in charge here, Lieutenant. If you wanted an office away from all the bustle, you could probably make it happen.
Well, Mr. Cortez, a great deal goes on here that I'm not in charge of, but I am in charge of security, and this is where most of that happens. Bottle of water?
I'm good. Lieutenant, in about half an hour, the president is going to call you on that phone right there and inform you that he's authorized Director Harris to proceed with the mapping test. Is he going to have a problem?
Mr. Cortez, the President of the United States is never going to hear anything from me other than, yes, sir, I understand and will implement to the best of my ability.
Great. That's all
Now, I can't stop you from disrespecting me in the future, but I can tell you that no one ever needs to throw out a feeler to see if I'll respect the chain of command.
Okay, whoa. Nobody's...
Be clear. This is the mapping test the director will be performing on herself?
What? Yes, of course that's... And the president is in full support.
Then there's nothing more to say.
Then I'll leave you to it.
Except, of course, to mull various outcomes and their consequences.
Excuse me?
Setting aside the possibility that the president has authorized an elaborate suicide on my watch, the second most interesting outcome is, what if she succeeds?
Then that'll be great, right?
It'll certainly suggest a way forward. One which seems to me will require more volunteers. Which leads me to wonder where those volunteers are going to come from.
Are you... Okay, if you're implying the president is going to ask American servicemen...
I'm saying soldiers follow orders, which makes giving orders a very grave responsibility indeed.
Well, can you tell me anything?
Her vitals are fine. I don't know what else to say.
What is this?
This was stupid. We did this without any post-op protocols.
What is this? Where am I?
It's you.
Brooke?
She just...
Brooke, are you awake?
Quiet.
Where am I?
How are you feeling? Is there any pain? Any...
All of you quiet.
Where am I?
You're with me. I'm here. You're with me.
Where am I?
Wait, is she talking to...
Oh my God.
I don't know where I am.
It's been 2 days, Liz. Can you give me any kind of update?
Please.
Shit, I have to call you back, Gil. She's having another... You gotta try to sleep, Brooke. This is insane.
I can't. She thinks it's death. She thinks I'm killing her.
Please stop. Please. I'm scared.
Well, can't you... can't you...
It's rest. It's normal. I promise.
This is death. You can't do this. This is death to me.
What's she saying?
Listen to me. Just please be quiet a minute and listen. If it's death to you, it's death to me. We're the same. And I don't want to die either.
Fuck.
Death to you? Death to me. We're the same. What happens to you happens to me.
What happens to me?
Happens to me. My body is your body. Say it with me. My body.
My body.
Is your body. My body.
My body.
Is your body.
Is your body.
Is it working?
My body is your body.
My body is your body.
My body is your body. My body is your body. My body is your body. My body is your body. My body is your. My body is. My body. Are you still there? Please. Are you still there?
I understand now.
You're still there.
I didn't before. But I do now.
Do you not have sleep where you come from?
We do.
I think. But it's different. It's a sort of stretching, suspension, until the muscles, they realign.
You're so fast. You're finding everything so fast.
You've laid it out perfectly. What's that sound she's making?
Can't you find it?
I can. But I want to learn it from you.
I can't wait to tell you everything. Listen, there is one thing
I already know.
They were the one who issued the proclamation. We never would have had the courage without...
Sorry, I'm late. I've got water, some stuff from the cafeteria.
Wait. Let her finish.
What's happening?
Deirdre is telling us about their leader. The one who died.
Who's Deirdre?
Deirdre says, I know you, don't I? I know your face from Brooke.
Hold on. Deirdre is...
Yep.
She found the name in my mind. Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sit down. Let her finish.
Without the leader, we never would have had the courage. But we followed them all the way to the great hall, court, Congress. And there, we told everyone, knowing they could strike us down, that we would not lie. We would not tell our countrymen that no other life was possible.
Does she have some kind of control, or...
Not control.
It's hard to explain. I'm telling you what she tells me in the way she tells me. It's like I...
What? What's she saying now?
Deirdre speaking. But now, I need to tell you about the innovator.
Who's the innovator?
She is. And she has a message.
Brooke and Deirdre.
Did you see it?
We're only just watching it now.
Turn it up. I want to hear this again.
I have so many things to say, but for now I'll restrict myself to this. Thank you. Thank you for setting me free. Thank you for Brooke. Thank you for my new home.
Okay, so...
You must feel pretty proud right now.
We'll feel proud when the rest of the prisoners are free.
Say that again?
I'm in. I want to be next.
Sir? Tell me.
I've cleared everyone else out. It's just Sergeant Wheeler.
Sergeant.
Good. They sent you.
How are we doing, Sergeant? Got a lot of people stirred up. Something about an unholstered sidearm.
That was right after. Couldn't think straight. It's holstered now.
Right after what? Right after what, Corey?
I must have watched him do it 100 times.
Put on the interface helmet, you mean?
For a while, I thought it took two people. One to wear it, one to plug in the settings. But I kept watching, right? Like you said.
Right.
See, once you put it on, there's only a couple settings left. You can't see them, but they're on top of your head. But the switches and the knobs all feel different.
How did you know that?
I'm the guy on guard. It doesn't look weird if I inspect stuff.
So, you learned how to operate the final settings by touch?
And I got inside. All by myself.
What did you see, Corey?
Enough.
What does that mean?
It means I quit.
Excuse me, Sergeant?
I quit, sir. I quit.
Director? Mr. Cortez?
Have a seat, Lieutenant.
I prefer to stand.
Lieutenant Riley, after extensive consultation with Sergeant Wheeler, Sergeant Wheeler's family, Director Harris, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the President has determined to issue an executive order shielding Sergeant Wheeler from any military penalty connected with his expressed desire to leave your command and his position in the United States Army.
He didn't consult with me.
The President has further determined to grant Director Harris's application to enroll...
Director Harris and Deirdre.
Director Harris and Deirdre's application to enroll...
Jesus Christ.
To enroll Sergeant Wheeler as...
Now simply Corey Wheeler.
As an acceptant in the Nevada Project Occupation Program.
He didn't consult with me.
Lieutenant, the President...
He didn't consult with me.
He doesn't have to consult with you. You serve at the pleasure...
I raised that boy! He was a shell when they sent him to me. You are not taking...
Lieutenant?
Of course you are correct, sir. The President is under no obligation to seek my input.
We would further recommend discontinuing the posting of a sentry inside the Ghost House mainframe.
Oh, who is we?
We would suggest that placing additional servicemen in Corey's position would serve neither the lieutenant's purposes nor our own. Curiosity is inextricable from human nature.
Okay, don't push your luck. There's no way the Pentagon will allow...
No. I agree.
Did I catch you at a bad time, Lieutenant?
Not at all, Senator. What can I do for you?
I know it's late, and I imagine the days are pretty long out there.
I'm a public servant, sir. I always have time for a duly elected representative.
Well, speaking as one of those, I've found that it pays to maintain a, let's say, healthy back channel with the Pentagon.
I imagine that would be an asset, sir.
So it may be of interest to you to know that in the course of my unofficial communications with significant persons, that quite a few of those significant persons do not share the President's enthusiasm for certain ongoing projects.
Sir?
And in many cases, these significant persons disagree with him. Quite sharply, I might add, in reference to certain recent judgment calls.
Senator McKillop, I will never act in any way against the directives of the Commander-in-Chief.
Yep. That's almost verbatim what they told me you'd say.
Will that be all, sir?
Yeah, that's about it. Just wanted to check in, really, let you know how much I appreciate what you do. And I guess just to remind you that the President's only ordered you not to do some things.
Some things.
I mean, if you think about it, there's a whole ocean of things he hasn't ordered you not to do.
Yes, sir.
And if the political climate were to adjust a little, midterms coming up and all, you might not even need to think that hard.
Okay. Can we go to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
You know you don't have to say that, right?
Who came up with this?
We did. Liz and Robin. Based on everything we know about the Innovator, we put together this profile of the kind of host pairing we're looking for.
30 years of age.
We're not married to it, but it seemed like the sweet spot. Young enough that we'll have access to their knowledge for a long time, but not so young that the Innovator could easily,
overwhelm them.
We were going to say ride roughshod.
Isaiah speaking. I never had a problem with them.
Because you always agreed with them. The Innovator's favorite quality in a person.
Look, we need them, right? Plus, we're not leaving anyone in there anyway, so...
Talk us through it.
Okay, so 30 years old, advanced degree in biochemistry or chemical engineering, strong-willed but not excessively so. You definitely want some aptitude for negotiation, and ideally some kind of background in activism.
Really?
Well, yeah. We want them to be able to meet the Innovator where they live, right? Speak their language? Should we leave it with you to think about?
Yes, thank you.
Want us to clean up?
That would be lovely.
See you at 5?
We'll be there.
Keep doing that ma'am thing. Just have it. Doesn't even make sense. There's 2 ma'ams, so...
Wait, what's that?
Oh, application. Just about to reject it.
Why?
Well, some midlife crisis guy, way too old.
May we see it?
I'm not supposed to be here. I'll kill you if they don't put me back.
Brooke, Deirdre.
They're sleeping. They're sleeping.
You got them to sleep?
Eventually.
Shit, you look rough. You want us to take over?
Is that an application?
Oh, yeah. About this.
You ran all the way here to show us an application?
You'll understand when you see who it's...
Shit, that's his Jeep, isn't it?
Who? Oh, fuck.
Tell me.
Lieutenant, look, this is...
No cute prefacing, just tell me.
There was an error in the mapping process. We transferred the wrong consciousness into Graham Shapiro.
The most recent mapping procedure I have on my schedule was 4 days ago.
That's right.
That's the procedure we're talking about?
Look, there's been a lot of...
Yes.
So you haven't told me for 4 days in clear contravention of our standing agreement.
Brooke and Deirdre's priority was tending
Which leads me to wonder if you have informed the president.
We will. We can do that in the next hour. We just
That's
need
not necessary, Director. I can handle that myself.
Okay. How bad is that gonna be?
Who's the application from?
Take a look. So, that's not just somebody with the same name, right? That's the Jamie Shapiro?
Yes. That's exactly who that is.
Gideon Media presents Give Me Away by Mac Rogers, directed by Jordana Williams, featuring Otto Essandoh, Lori Elizabeth Parquet, Hennessy Winkler, Rebecca Comtois, Alba Ponce de León, Jorge Cordova, Christopher Wilson, and Brian Silliman. Sound design by Bart Fasbender. Assistant directed by Marty McGuire. Music by Adam Blau. And produced by Cara Ehlenfeldt.
In this place, once known as Hartford, Connecticut, the wind doesn't howl. It screams. That screaming wind careens maliciously across the vast tundra until it breaks against the side of a monolithic structure. The Heart Life Tower, former home of the Heart Life Insurance Company. Dear listener, these are the true dramatizations of our fair city's glorious history. You will meet the brave bureaucrats that keep us safe and orderly.
Sorry for the confusion. MURDER is actually an acronym for our department. An unfortunate coincidence.
The abominable mole people who dig the tunnels that keep us warm.
They don't exist. There's no such thing as ant people. Mole people.
And the most dangerous villains of all. Scientists.
I swear, I'd forget my head if it wasn't sewn on.
To say nothing of lightning riggers, time travelers, and simple interns, every policy has a story to tell. Join us, dear listener, for the tale of our fair city, wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember, you owe everything to Heart Life. All the life you'll ever need.
Hello, Eleanor here. And I am here to talk about the wonderful new fiction podcast, 2000 and Late. 2000 and Late is a new fiction podcast from the creator of The Bright Sessions. It is a dark comedy that grapples with the havoc of our current moment and tries to find the hope inside of it. The show follows Harper, a 36-year-old nihilist whose life is upended when she's possessed by a demon hell-bent on bringing about the apocalypse. But Harper doesn't want to end the world. And the demon gives her more power than she's ever had in a very long time. So, yeah. I'm loving this show. It's sharp and funny, and it's a cathartic release from the anger and impotence I often feel about the dumpster fire of a world we are all living in these days. It's unapologetically angry, surprisingly tender, and deeply entertaining. I think that 2000 and Late is ideal for fans of Fleabag or Killing Eve, Jennifer's Body, Yellow Jackets, Venom. So, yeah, let's go create some havoc. Oh, and also, Jeffrey worked on this. Jeffrey is the sound designer, and that's also really cool. So please go check out 2000 and Late wherever you listen to podcasts.